Korbanin. We're in Sharei Kedusha, page Lametet, Chelek Bet Shar Gimel. Korbanin, Lametet. Korbanot. How do you do korbanot in our generation? A korban, it says by them, Reach Nichoach Yishel Hashem. They're a beautiful aroma. Not a beautiful. Reach Nichoach is a pleasant aroma. Yishel Hashem, an offering to God. Va'ei busmin da avdalta. The Talyan v'chotama. So in our days, that will be the mitzvah of havdalah that you do.
But how about Ktoret?
When you say
Ktoret?
I don't know. We'll see what he says. When he says that, when you say havdalah, when you smell the besamim, have kavanah. That's instead of the korban that used to be smelling a beautiful aroma to Hashem.
How about saying bracha of just besamim every day? It's not the same.
I'm sure it is. By the way, there is a kavanah. By the way, when we smell besamim from the Rashash, to have to have in mind this pasuk Reach Nichoach Yishel Hashem. But I never learned that kavanah, so I've seen it, but I cannot tell you it deep. Kriyat Shema u'shmiat shofar, saying Talia kol pikudin ditmar be'on im shmiya lozno yatzat talan be'odnin. Kriyat Shema and shofar is dealing with the ears. It's in the ears of the olamot elyonim. It's called the udnim of the olamot elyonim. V'tfilin Talia be'erhet tfilin deals with the skull. The kol pikudin mishalan debeda, and all the pikudin, just like your ears, is connected to your skull, and you hear. It helps you move your body that way. That's the same way. All the mitzvot are interconnected one to another. Right? And why is Shema dealing with the ear and not with the mouth? Because what does it say by Shema? Mishmiya le'ozno. You have to hear what you say. Lechatchila, the right way to do the mitzvah of Shema, and I also have a problem with that too. Especially when I'm reading and I'm in the middle of tefillah, I try to read the whole tefillah. From the beginning till the end. I try my best. And sometimes when I'm reading, the Shema, I read in a very low voice. And I always stop myself in the middle. I'm like, lechatchila, when I say Shema, I have to hear what I'm saying. There's a special kavanah for that. So therefore, the mitzvah of Shema
has to be heard.
Is dealing with the ears. Okay? U'b'sefer HaZohar Parashat Naso, it brings down. When you're learning Sharei Kedusha, you're also learning parts of the Zohar HaKadosh. So you're doing two mitzvot in one. Kad varnash avit pikuda chada v'la yatir b'tchilu urchimu et kudsha brichu v'gin ha'u pikuda shayan ale asar sfira. No, we did this last week. When you do a mitzvah b'tchilu urchimu with fear and love, trepidation and love, you automatically give that mitzvah 10 sfirot. V'kilu mekayem ramach pikudin, and it's as if you did the 248 mitzvot aseh, the lav yu k'ila mikul hu, because every mitzvah is connected with the other one. So basically, what is he trying to say over here? That if you don't do a mitzvah b'tchilu urchimu with trepidation and love, then you don't give that mitzvah 10 sfirot. If you don't give it 10 sfirot, then it's not a full body. So the mitzvah is kind of handicapped. You understand? So how do you do that? By the way, just yesterday, the beauty of Hashem, I was reading the Tshuva and Torah Lishma about this. He says the way to do this, if you don't know kavanot, is every time you do a mitzvah, always say L'Shem Yechud Kudsha B'Yechud Shchinteh. Tchil orchim tchil lachadash Shem Yud Kevavim B'Yechuda Shelim Shem Kol Yisrael. Again, L'Shem Yechud Kudsha B'Yechud Shchinteh. B'Tchilu orchimu with fear and love and fear.
Can we just say that English once?
I think it's better to say it in Hebrew.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
Think of L'Shem Yichud Kudsha.
No, that first part is easy.
Tchilu. Le'achadash Shem Yud Kei B'Vav. And always before you do a mitzvah, try to say Yehi Noam twice. You hear?
Yeah, I said V'Noam.
V'Noam twice.
Right, twice.
Who was the one who said V'Noam? First one to say it? Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu said it when the Mishkan was finished. He said, "V'Noam, may God's presence be situated on all your things." Yeah.
The first one is they say Shalei and Hashem.
Yeah, that's something else. That's before they read Tehillim. They say that.
Any other mitzvah, when they wake up or any mitzvah.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure exactly. I think so.
Okay, you gotta double check that. I'm saying from the Zohar HaKadosh. Could be that there's a different way here too. Agra de Barnash. What is the reward of a person? The amlich lekuchabrichu al kol ever ve'ever. It chashiv kilu amlich al kol alma. The reward is that you made Hashem the God and the whole world. Why do I think this sentence is very important? Because sometimes you think to yourself, "Oh, I did one mitzvah. What change did I make on the world? What did I already do? Did I change anything?" You have to understand, Rabotai. every mitzvah that you do, if you do it b'tchil or chemo, you made Hashem king on the whole world. That's why when you do a mitzvah, you have to not think about all the things that are around you. You gotta just think of the mitzvah right now. We all go through things, some harder than others, yes, but you have to understand at the moment of the mitzvah, you have to know that if you do b'tchil or chemo, that mitzvah you made Hashem king on the whole world, which is the point of creation. Which is the point of creation.
I got it.
The barnash olam katan nikre. A human being is a small world. Pay attention. Simu lev. Velo itihi v'shu legala'ad rayot hamim mitzvot. We have no permission to reveal the reward for the mitzvot. Begin de la yiflach barnash kuchabrichu al melech price, because you cannot serve Hashem for the reward. That's the opposite of creation. Because then everybody would do it. There would be no free choice. אבל תחזי, come and see. האם נשמתה די בדיוקנה דמראה, דמקיים כל פיקודין דילה, אילם כד סלקד לאלה, כל חילין דמלאכיה לתלם מילם פיקודין, לכל תיקונן ומשען דגופה דמלכה, סלקי אימה. When you do a mitzvah after 120, when you pass away, and every night when you go to sleep, all the mitzvot that you did that day go with you up to Shamayim. That's the meaning also of true dreams. The true dreams, that is the sign that the malachim that you made that day, dreams of Kedusha, came up with you that day. I'll give you guys an example. What is a true dream? So I have a friend, he was telling me today, on Shabbat he had a dream. That he sees that he has another son.
Good sign.
Another son. And he brings the son to the Brit Milah, and there's nobody sitting sandak. And he just puts the baby on the chair, and he says Eliyahu Navi will be the child sandak. And they came to name the baby, and they called him Ovadia Chaim. That's what he tells me. That's what he sees in his dream. Ovadia Chaim.
Okay.
And he wakes up, and then in his dream he tells himself, I'm not going to name him Ovadia Yosef, because my next son I will name him Yosef Yitzhak. Why Yitzhak? Was Chaim after Chaim Vital, and Yitzhak after the Ari HaKadosh. So the children will complete each other. And he wakes up from his dream. So he asked me, what do you think of this dream? First of all, I told him, Yosef Tzaddik, I cannot tell you what your dream means. So don't text me what my dream means. Don't ask me. I don't know. But I says, I can give you, I think, what I think your dream means. This is what I think. I want to have no more children. My wife wants to kill me already. She doesn't want to have more kids. So he says to me, I don't think your dream means that you're going to have
Kids.
I don't think that's, you might have more sons, but I don't think it's talking about your kids. I think they're giving you a sign from Shammai that your avodat Hashem is bichinat chayim. Because Ovadia is avodah. Your avodat Hashem is chayim, it's life. That means you're going in the right path from Hashem. They're giving you a hint from Shammai that you're going by avodat Hashem. Your Hashem is chayim. And that's what I think your dream means. Because anytime you have a dream in Kedusha, the dream is never interpreted literally. It's all specific hints. That's what I think your dream means, but who knows? I could be wrong. I probably am, but that's what I think it means. Okay? You're like... So that's how you know those dreams come from those malachim that you made that day of Kedusha. And if your mitzvot weren't so kashernik, they're handicapped, then they also show you shtuyot in your dream. Also show you shtuyot. Alright? Now, how do you make sure that your neshama goes up to Shamayim straight without having any roadblocks?
Don't sleep till midnight.
Don't sleep till midnight. Then you don't need anything. 4 things you have to do. Let's see if I remember all of them. Number 1, when you wear tefillin, you have to have kavanah, constant kavanah. Tefillin is on your head.
I don't think we do that.
So how do you do that? They asked the Ben Ishchai in Torah Lishma, and in Torah Lishma he answered, yes, exactly. That's what he brings down. He's over there. Just by keep on touching them. Like this, but it's called Mishamish Tefillin, it's considered like you didn't move your kavanah from it. So you don't have to have kavanah, Eki, Havaya, Amunah, you're always conscious. You're always conscious of that. Always conscious of it. Yeah. That's why, by the way, they put in the tefillah to always say when you say L'tutafot b'reinecha, this, that, right? Right? To always touch. That's number 1. Number 2, to say vidui before you go to sleep. Vidui. Hashem Bagano, but you have to say vidui and all the averot you did that day. And number 3, so I remember 3, is to give tzedakah that day to a person you don't know. And they don't know it's you. Today, that's very easy to do. Because everything you could do anonymously online. Okay? That's a very good thing to do. So if you do these 3 things, I think there was one more actually. I think it's to learn 18 chapters of Mishnayot. That's impossible. then your neshama could go up, even if your malachim were a little kachmukaluch, as they say, handicapped. Okay? But the point is that those malachim that you make, they're the ones that melaveh otcha kol hazman. They're always walking. That's why before people go to the bathroom, it was the minhag back in the day to say, hitchabdu mechubadim. What does that mean? May the respected ones be respected. That would cause your angels to stay out of the bathroom, and you would go in and do your thing and come out, wash your hands, and they would walk again with you. Today we don't say that. Even though the halacha was paskin in the Torah like that to say itchabdu mechubadim, we don't do that today. The Ari says to do that, by the way. The Alkut Yosef says that if you want to say it, you could say it, but say it to yourself. Like people are gonna see you say like, what do you say before you go to the bathroom? Itchabdu mechubadim.
If you don't say they go in,
may the respected ones be respected.
if you don't say they go in with you,
Huh?
if you don't say they go in with you,
No, I'm sure they don't, but
It's a sign of respect.
It's a sign of respect. I guess it's the fact that you're always conscious.
Right,
You're always conscious
separation
of it.
too.
You know, you're always conscious of it. That's what separates the men from the boys when it comes to Yiddishkeit. When you're always conscious of Yahadut. That's why the famous Mishnah in Pirkei Avot, they asked Rabbi Yosei, I believe. They asked him, one guy comes up and says, Rabbi, I'm going to give you millions of dollars. I'm going to give you a chest full of money and gold. Come live with us in our city. Come. Teach us Torah. We have no Torah there. He says, even if you fill a house full of gold and silver, I only live in a place of Torah. Well, what Torah has to be taught in other places? Let other people do it. That's it. Right? That's what he says.
no Florida.
So, no, I wasn't talking about you. That's Shalom. No,
For
I
him,
wasn't
for
talking
you,
about
for
I
you.
wasn't talking about
For
you.
you.
I was just saying Mishnah.
We got rabbi first.
First, there's plenty of Torah over there. That's Shalom. Like I said, I'm pro. You know? I'm not like that at all. So, this is the ladder that Yaakov saw in his dream. The ladder, all those malachim going up and down. What malachim were they? Those
His
malachim that he did that day, the mitzvot. יתמר בם הנה מלאכי אלוהים עולים ויורדים בו וקרא נחת כל רמי וקיים הבו יקרא לדוכן המלכה. And then there's a herald in Shamaim that says give kavod to the image of the master, because which master? That's you. It's talking about over here, because the angels that you make look like you. Look like you in what age? When you're now or 10 years ago? I don't know. This you have to wait and see. And there is big tzaddikim, by the way, that were able to see such things. And if we work on ourselves, which is the whole point of this, to work on ourselves to get to the spiritual level, that we could actually experience these spiritual experiences. But if you do it for that, you're not going to reach it. That means you've got to learn this to reach a level of knowing Hashem, which the Rambam says it's a mitzvah midoraita, ladat et Hashem. On the way, you will have spiritual experiences. You will have spiritual experiences, right? Those spiritual experiences are not the goal.
Right.
They're the means to the goal. You understand? That's why the tzaddikim, they weren't so upset if they were poor, if they were hungry, if they were cold, because they felt that was just all means to destroy that masach, that veil, that curtain that separated them from the spirituality. I actually heard a chidush today. I'll share it with you guys because we're a small class over here. So I was hearing a shur by the Yanuka of Shlomo Yehuda. What's his last name? Be'eri. And I was hearing a shiur from him, and he said like this. Says that the tzaddikim, they specifically used to dip in a cold mikveh. In a cold mikveh. Why in a cold mikveh? The dipping in the cold mikveh specifically used to give them powers to see into spiritual things. The ikar tikkun of dipping in a mikveh is in the cold mikveh dafka, but their house they would always make sure was warm. Because when he was bringing up in the name of some Hasidic Rebbe's that if your house is cold and not warm, chas v'shalom, there's a specific angel that has the power to bring poorness to that person's house. So he says always keep your whole house warm. That's what he said. I was surprised that he said that. It's an interesting idea.
With the business too?
Huh? The house always has to be warm.
But
never leave the house cold.
Dip in a
There's
cold
a special
mikveh.
angel, it's Memuneh an Aniyut, and he goes to places that are cold, houses that are cold.
Yeah, you ever see that?
That's what he said.
The 6 7. What do I know?
Is that halacha?
I don't know.
If it's cold.
Yeah.
Because it's sakana to
Oh,
drink it.
sakana, yeah, for sure. Yeah. If it's sakana, then for sure. Obviously, I never saw that in Gemara. But could be, yeah. I'm just letting you guys know from the tzad siguli behind it. And always keep your house warm, which is interesting because I always like to keep my house cold, but after this, I'm going to start keeping it warm. You understand? I always like to keep open all the windows, nice breeze, you know what I'm saying? But my wife is just the opposite. She likes to keep it warm. So I said to her today, finally I see that there is something, Chokhmat Nashim, Banta Beta, will keep the house warm from now on. Brit Milah, what's Brit Milah? Kama da'avarahu ever hanu klipin. When that part, that ever of yours, will take away the klipa, v'takin atar l'shayah shechina. Once they cut off the foreskin, now the shechina could rest on the child.
Before.
And by the way, I learned in the Ariya Kadosh, how could you keep the mitzvah of Brit Milah? It's not a one-time mitzvah. It's not a one-time mitzvah. Every time you're shomer your Brit, you did the mitzvah of Brit Milah on yourself. I actually knew a guy, true story, that he had a test of Shemirat HaBrit and he overcame it, and that night he dreamt that he gave himself a Brit Milah.
I never had those dreams.
I actually knew a guy like that, true story.
Miller used to say that when you say Birkat Hamazon,
Yeah.
right? Because you were not mitkaven, or you didn't want it, right? You didn't have that. When you say Birkat Hamazon, it's written there.
On the Milah. You have
It
Kavanah.
counts like you
You do the mitzvah every time. And that's why I say the secret of David HaMelech, when he was in the bathhouse, he says, I'm naked from mitzvah. Then he saw his Brit Milah. He says, oh, I have the mitzvah of Brit Milah. So the pshat is, he actually did the mitzvah of Brit Milah at that moment. It's like he redid it. You understand? Because if it just happened a long time ago, what was the point? Okay, you have a Brit Milah. You're still naked of mitzvah? No, but the mitzvah is still on me. You understand? So it's a very interesting pshat. So if a person feels like he's naked of mitzvot, by having the Brit Milah on him right now, it's actually redoing the mitzvah on him right now. And that's why the Ben Ish Chai brings special prayer, not to say on your birthday, but on the day of your Brit Milah. And this prayer, he says, could save you to have Shemirat HaBrit the whole year. Because on the day of your Brit Milah, the same power awakens to take away the klipa from your life, especially from your yesod. I'm very makbid to say that tefillah every single year.
The Hebrew date or the English?
The Hebrew date, obviously, of your Brit Milah.
Because he was
What are you gonna do
I
now?
was sick on the 8th day.
Okay, so then when you got it.
You showed us
Hachi Nami.
That was in name.
Does that have to be 8 days or it has to be?
On the day that you got your Brit Milah.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be 8 days.
I'm saying, you remember Uzbekistan took us 6 months, 5 months.
You should say it from the 8th day until the 4th month every single day. Huh? In the tefillah, in Lashon Chachamim. Right now? Why your thing is coming out?
Bet or Gimel?
Bet, it's definitely not in Gimel. I think it's in Bet. Brit Milah, Hachinami. So when your soul goes up in the night, when you go to sleep, it goes up through the name of Yud Kei Vav Kei, Havaya, that name of Hashem. Va'avar minei kol klipin. So it goes through a laundry machine. It takes away all the klipa of that day. The day you go through, you see things that you didn't want to see. You smell things you shouldn't have smelled. It's all klipot that stick to your neshama. By going to sleep in the night, the neshama is going through a recharge, which is very important. So sleep is very important. ומלאכי חבלה דלה יקרבון לגביהן, המלאכים of Kabbalah do not come next to you. וכמה דהשתדל באורייתא ובמצווה דיקון אור בנר, when you try your best in Torah, in Oraita, ובמצווה, in mitzvot, which is called a light and a candle, הכי קט הזה להו על מה, so too when you go to that world, והשם הולך לפניהם, the name of Hashem Yud Kei Vav Kei goes in front of you, the nishmateh v'rochev v'nafshev, v'amud anan, v'amud esh, God goes in front of you in a pillar of a cloud, and in a fiery pillar. Then chotam aderech, to show you the way to olam ha'elyon, la'ir lahem, to charge your neshama again. Ukemad denatar Shabbat v'nachvit anagbe. Also, when you keep Shabbat and you rest on Shabbat, likarat kuchabrichu, for the sake of Hashem's kavod. That means to sleep on Shabbat for the sake of just sleeping. That's not likarat kuchabrichu. That's likara shel. Right? You got it before you go to. How do you do likarat kuchabrichu? Before you go to sleep, say L'Shem Yachud Kuchab Yehush Chidei Areni Nach B'Shabbat Likar Dikuchabrichu. So if you're going to sleep on Shabbat and rest on Shabbat, so they're going to give you a nice room in Shamayim, in Olam Haba, to rest. You did it over here, so you also get it. See, over there you don't pay in money. Over there you pay in mitzvot and Torah. You get it? Very interesting paragraph. This is whoever puts the names of gods together, he makes them into one. Hashem gives him his bat zug.
What do you mean? What name?
Now you're awake? Now you've been awake.
The only thing I just know, I listened to everything you said, dude. And commented, so.
Every time you say Hashem's name inside the tefillah, Baruch Atah Hashem, put the name of Havaya and Ammonite together. Yud Aleph and Hey Dalet and blah blah. Right. So that's the secret of this week's parasha. Vayigash Elav Yehuda. That's the secret.
So how you do it?
And then what happens? Then you get your bat zug. You put Hashem's name Ammonai, which is Kiviyachol, the Shekhinah, which is the feminine aspect of Hashem's name, and the Shem Havaya, which is the male aspect of Hashem's name, and you put them together, so too God will give you in this world your bat zug.
Okay, can you explain to me, please?
Every time you say
Aleph.
Yud
Aleph.
Every time you say Baruch Atah Hashem, think Hashem Yud Aleph, Hey Dalet, and Vav Nun, then Hey Yud.
Also spell the whole thing out.
Yeah, and have Kavanah, that's God's name of judgment, which is the female aspect, and complete mercy, which is the male aspect, and I'm putting it together. What's the point of putting them together? That we shouldn't make a mistake like the olden people of the time of Enosh, that there's two gods, chas v'shalom. One of mercy and one of judgment. It's all
one.
Just that's different. The point of Shema Yisrael. Before you say Shema, I hope you guys have this kavanah, because that's the whole point of Shema. Behold, I'm doing the mitzvah Meyachet Shem Hashem. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu. Hashem is mercy. Elokeinu is what? Din. Hashem Echad. It's all really one. It's the same God that's pulling the same two strings. Understand? It's two different names. One time he wears one different clothing, and one time he wears Kaviyachol, a different kind of clothing. It's the same Hashem. That's called to be Meyachet Shem Hashem. And if you do that, it says over here, that's not my words. Yahiv le bat zugeh. Hashem will give you your bat zug.
So we have to put, when we say Baruch Atah
Hashem, put that name in.
Puzzle it in.
But what's the point of that doing that? To show that it's really one. Man dekarev b'shchinte legabeh, hachim mekarev lebat zugeh. The more you do this mitzvah and bring God's divine presence, you do tikkun chatzot, you bring God's divine presence closer to Him, you're showing the world that it's one. So too Hashem is going to bring your bat zug closer to you. Man da'avad le mikdasha. If you make Hashem a Beit Mikdash, you make him a house with Shalom Bayit. You build him a shul for the right reasons. Hachi avid le bayit the kodesh kudshin the dayatam. Hashem will give you in the world to come, holy of holies.
Once you make Hashem one,
He'll make you one with your wife. That's exactly the point here. Man da'avet sukkah. If you make a sukkah, you do the mitzvah of sukkah. Kuchabrichu yisachich v'yagin. God will give you protection for the whole year. You made Hashem a sukkah, I'm going to make you a sukkah. Mikol menachei chabala u'makatrigim, from all the mikatrigim, kadafik ma'alma, when you leave this world. Man de'mevarech sheva birkan nikrat Shema. Whoever says the 7 blessings of Shema, right? 2 in the morning, 1 and 2 before Shema, 1 after Shema in the morning, 2 before Shema v'Aravi, 2 after the Shema v'Aravi. That's altogether 7. What will Hashem give you?
I do 7.
The brachot before.
Yotzer or ahavat olam Ga'al Yisrael in the morning. Ma'ariv Aravim ahavat olam Ga'al Yisrael hashkiveinu. Altogether is 7. If you bless the 7 blessings of Shema, and you say Kadosh 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 every day, umeyachet le b'kriyat Shema, and you make Hashem one by saying Shema, hachi yivarech le umekadesh le be'eser chubot de Kiddushin. God will give you the ability to do the mitzvah of Kiddushin.
Oh.
You want to marry off people?
You could do that too.
You gotta write the Gan Eden.
Hey,
you're gonna be marrying people off in Gan Eden.
I'm alright.
I think we should make a separate video just for this part of the Zohar.
Yeah, you should.
In Gan Eden, you're gonna marry off people. You're gonna be officiating weddings over there. Big rabbis who used to do 100 weddings over here. They're gonna be watching from the stand here at the Shalom.
With music.
They're gonna see suddenly you're going over there with nice Jomeh. You're gonna be all the Malachim. Ya'amod Harav Mikadesh.
White strimal.
White stripe. They're gonna get. Everything is white over there, by the way. Nothing is black. Umiyachid levikalati de.
Have you seen that white?
How you gonna read Hashem's story?
Have you been that white strimal?
What do you
How
mean?
you gonna read the
By heart, Habibi. By heart.
A word?
Yeah. Man de takin kurseya lekuchabrichu. Whoever makes a chair for Hashem, how do you do a chair for Hashem? Be'itufad mitzvah by wearing talit. Ume'ater le betfilin, lekare le kriyat Shabbat, wear tefillin and say Shema, the Yishrei kurseyeh, as if keviyachol you're preparing a seat for Hashem. Hachi metaken le kurseya. Hashem will give you a nice chair in this world. Ve'itera de keter malchuta. He'll give you a crown. You will be a leader of men.
Wow.
Ve'amlich le al malachim.
If you wear tzitzit?
Tzitzit and tefillin,
Alright.
God will make you. The malachim will listen to your tefillot.
I'm doing something wrong. That's good, man. Where am I meant to take the whole
Where is the crowns? Where's the malachim?
For real.
That's the problem, by the way. You're not supposed to do it for this, and then you're gonna get there. Then you're gonna get it. Well, let's start first with making Hashem's name one.
I'm putting the crowns on 11.
וכמד אנחית לב בזמן של דשבחות ודאות, אייסק תאמן כל חיימן ומרכאות ושיינו מלאכים לחיות שרפים ופנים, פרסי כתפיו לקבלה בחדווה ניגונה. If you're gonna sing to Hashem in your tefillah with kavanah, so too they're gonna accept your neshama after 120 years with shirot, with tishbachot.
I sent to you.
So at Hashem we should be zochet to all these things. Last paragraph, we'll call it a night. Sof davar. Let puma deyachil lemeimar agradile. There is no mouth that can say the true reward of the mitzvot ba'au alma ledari darin in the next world for the end of days. Zakai hu, praiseworthy is the one deyashrei lekuchabrichu bechol evarim dile. He makes Hashem God and all of his limbs. I told you guys. You guys are working on it. Try to picture Yud Kei Vav Kei.
Yes.
Yeah,
You're working on it.
Yeah.
Very hard.
I stand next to anything that has it and I just look at it.
Try
Can
to
you say Shema with open eyes
Yes.
and look at?
Yes. So all the mekubalim do.
Okay.
Wait, if one of your limbs, Abraham, is missing Yud Kei Vav Kei on it, it's tarikh begin however l'achzar begilgula. Because of that limb, you're coming back in a gilgul. I'm gonna read this again. I don't know if you guys got it. I didn't hear a sigh. I didn't hear like a gasp.
But you said if you miss it,
חסר, חד עבר פנוי מיניה, דלה שהיה עליה. If one limb is missing, Shem Havaya, that means you're missing one limb.
Basically, you didn't complete the Yud Kei
You didn't give up, okay? It's tarikh, begin however, just because ever, לחזיר בגלגולה בעלמה. To come back in a gilgul, עד ישתרים כלו איברים בדיוקת אצל השם, until you fulfill the Shem Havaya.
but the same thing for not fulfilling the mitzvot also. If you don't make all the mitzvot, you still
That's
coming
exactly the same thing. Same thing, exactly the same thing. How do you make Hashem name and all that? By doing the mitzvot with those, that's what we've been talking about, and that limb. Because if you're missing one of the mitzvot, one of the limbs, you're not complete in Hashem's image. כביכול. סוף סוף כל מה ישתדל בענן שחווי בגין דקודשא בריך הוא שכינתה. All your mitzvot you should do לשם ייחוד קודשא בריך הוא שכינתה. To make Hashem's name one. To make Hashem's name one. Yud Kei Vav Kei and Amonai is one. The name is
everything
one.
I do, right? If I make a phone call, I gotta say the Shem Hu.
It's a very high level. I don't think you're ready for that.
I'm calling a Rasha. Like, yo, let me handle him properly.
כאן אביב פיקודוי. והכי מידה כנגד מידה ישתדל קודשא בריך הוא בגינה. מידה כנגד מידה. You're going to try to do for Hashem to make him one. Hashem will do for you. ובת זוגה.
Again, בת זוג.
And your בת זוג באו אלמה. Not only in this world. באו אלמה in the next world too. Next one, next chapter is Sharei רביעי. ברוך ה' לעולם. אמן ואמן.
Ribbi Chania.